good morning, and welcome to another edition of Talk That Tech, the
Number one tech morning show in the world. Good morning.
good morning. We're glad to rock with you on another Monday here. This is March the 9th, and we are going to get into it with this live show. If you are brand new, don't forget to click, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We definitely appreciate it as always. And if you do not know, this is a call in show. Must be 18 years or older to join. But yeah, definitely call into the show to express any opinions about any of the topics that we are going to be discussing today. And like always, we want to make sure that you're also aware of free event tickets or tech event tickets that shall be. We will talk about it more later on, but want to give you a heads up about that. We're not going to delay the show though. We're going to get right into the topic at hand. Go ahead and let us know where you're tuning in from, and we definitely want to hear from you in the meantime, between time. But we're gonna get right into it, man. We'll get right into it because this is a very juicy one, and we do not want to delay things. We want to make sure that y'all know what's coming down the pipe. So if y'all are with us, let us know that you're with us in the chat. But we're gonna dive right into it, man. We're gonna dive right into the first conversation, and that has to do with Anthropic versus the Pentagon, how an AI dispute turned into a major political fight. At least that's what it looks like it's coming out to be. And we're also going to talk about other issues as well if we get to it today. We're going to talk about just Oracle spending and how that's impacted employment. And if we get time to it, we'll get to that brown box special. But let's start from the very beginning. And I'm going to pass it over to Trey for more. Oh, I think we lost you there.
Yep, it was my
Okay.
mic. Good morning. So listen, man, we are going to be talking about, you know, Anthropic versus the US, USA. But seriously, um, when it comes to the week or over the last week, I don't know if y'all saw it or not, but a major conflict happened. Okay, you have an AI company, Anthropic, or if you don't know those names, then I know you probably know Claude. All right. You got Claude, you got ChatGPT, you got Anthropic, you have OpenAI. So that's to set the basis there. Now, we have Anthropic and the US government, okay? Um, and they were fighting over artificial intelligence, all right? And should it be in the military systems? Now that's just surface level. We're gonna keep going. All right. So basically, what started the disagreement was contract rules. So you already know you sign a contract, you gotta make sure the stuff is right, or do both parties win? But basically, it went from contract rules to political controversy real quick, 0 to 100. All right. And it got the White House involved, the Pentagon, and then their rival, OpenAI. So way back in 2025, in July, a $200 million contract was signed by Anthropic with the US military. All right. And this was going to give AI assistant to the military. And it was going to be Claude for government systems. Okay. Now, here's what Anthropic did. All right. They included two strict conditions in the contract. Said number one, Claude cannot be used for mass surveillance of American citizens. That was number one. Number two, Claude cannot be used to control fully autonomous weapons where AI makes the final decision to attack. Okay. Remember those two. All right. Now, here's what the Pentagon said. US Department of Defense, they were like, yo, we don't have any intentions on violating these limits. However, the Pentagon refused to formally include those restrictions in the contract. And so instead, they wanted language that allowed the technology to be used for all lawful purposes. Well, we know that they can get something passed in a minute, like, okay. So anyways, Anthropic, they wasn't having it. All right. So they argued that wording would make it the safeguards that they had in place meaningless. And they wasn't lying. Like they can switch it up, anything. Oh, this is a new law. We passed it through. or it just got clearance and we're good to go. So anyways, the negotiations, they went way up. So the defense secretary, Pete Hegseth, reported warning that the government could force compliance under the Defense Production Act. And Anthropic said, I ain't having it, and you ain't having my stuff. And so they refused to change. Now, the government ban, okay, this brings in the government ban. So when negotiations collapsed, then this was February 27th. So now we we're real close to today now. All right, February 27th, 2026, Donald Trump ordered federal agencies to stop using Anthropic immediately. All right, get them out of here. Don't use them anymore. And the agencies were already the agencies that were already using it, including some parts of the Pentagon, they were given 6 months to remove the systems. Now, the Pentagon also labeled Anthropic a supply chain risk to national security. So you can see they're building the story around Anthropic. All right. No bueno, not good for us. We can't do it. Don't mess with them. They got the ick, all right, which that effectively blocked the company from selling the technology to the U.S. government. So instantly, that one 5-6 word sentence, boom, we can't sell it to the government anymore. It's okay though, all right. So Anthropic said the plans to challenge the move legally, right? They're like, look, we got money in the bank now. We got big business behind us. We're gonna challenge it. Now, here's where OpenAI stepped in. Now, so right after the ban, OpenAI said, "Hey, big head, hey, big head." All right, they came in and they announced that they had reached their own agreement with the Pentagon. So they went and backdoored, snaked them. What is it that they're calling it now? I can't think. When you're in the club with some girls, all right, and somebody comes in and then they want the girls, then they send them a drink and then they get them back over to their side.
Yeah, let's know what that's called in the chat, y'all. Let's know what that's called.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's a new term for it now, but dirty macking, okay? Now, but they got some other term for it. But anyway, CEO Sam Altman, he said the deal also includes limits on mass surveillance and fully autonomous weapons. Wait a minute. Those were the only things that Anthropic said they didn't want, and we were good with the deal. Here's what critics are saying, okay? They're saying that those protections appear to rely on existing government policy rather than strict contractual rules. So here's what that means. The government could potentially change them later at any time. So Altman later admitted that the timing of the announcement looked opportunistic. It didn't just look opportunistic, bro. It was. Now, if you're in business, I mean, hey, it is what it is, but this business is serious business. So here's what happened right after ChatGPT did this, all right? This situation triggered a wave online of backlash against OpenAI, not Claude. Here's what they're saying. They created a campaign called, it's a hashtag, #QuitGPT. It has claimed more than 2.5 million people that have canceled their subscriptions, pledged to stop using ChatGPT, or they posted criticism online. Now, data from the app analytics also shows spikes in ChatGPT uninstalls. So all the way off the computer, or all the way off the phone, and a whole lot of 1-star reviews. At the same time, Anthropic has went through the roof, right? They going gangbusters, and they actually reached the #1 on the U.S. App Store as well over the last few days. It was brief, but they still hit it. What does that mean? It means people is going straight over there. Now they got 60% growth in free users, 4 times more daily signups, more than double the number of paying subscribers. Now remember, a few weeks ago we told y'all they had 2 different strategies going. OpenAI, they went B2C first, and that's where they thrived at. Claude went B2B, and that's where they thrive at. But now it looks like Claude is now swooshing over and getting both. We're gonna keep it going. But anyway,
Yeah.
So why this matters, y'all? It's bigger. This is a bigger debate about how AI should be used in warfare and surveillance, and how the people feel about that. So the key question is that we have today: should AI companies be allowed to set limits on how governments use their technology, right? Because they don't have these. Well, I mean, they do, but it's already set in stone. They try to make whole new rules for the government, and also, how much influence should private tech companies have over military systems? So, we'll see. Several things could definitely happen after this, y'all. Anthropic, again, they could challenge that government ban in court. They got the money for it. And they might have some stuff that they know that, hey, we could win this. Congress could investigate the dispute, and the Pentagon, they're going to need to replace AI systems already running Anthropic technology. And then other companies could face the same pressure as well for future military contracts. But I think what we should focus on as well is how the people actually feel about this. Because, I mean, to start a whole campaign of quit GPT, and then all of a sudden, it start doing numbers, that means something. That means something. So I don't
Yeah,
know, man.
y'all. Yeah, this. Listen, I'll say it first here. We like to talk that tech, but every so and again, it gets to government. So not to get political, we gotta talk about it because this is big. I'm gonna go to the comment section real quickly. We got Hebrew elevation in the building. Says Shalom, brothers. Interesting topic. Y'all bless. Y'all bless. Appreciate you. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
appreciate you.
And they got OTTO in the building as well. Peace and blessings, fam. Also, a reminder, y'all, if y'all chat,
What up?
a comment, and at least a decent comment, we will definitely highlight you and shout you out at the end of the show, for sure, as well as in the between time. But let's know your thoughts on this. I posted a couple of questions just to guide the conversation, y'all. So one is, will the government ban on Anthropic last? Will the government ban on Anthropic last? What are your thoughts on this story in general? But should AI companies really be allowed to set limits on how government use their technology? And then also, should AI companies be allowed to set limits on how governments use their technology? So the questions are in the comments section if you want to answer any of those questions. But I'll definitely share my thoughts in this story. I want to go back on a couple of things you said because I think it's very important. Like, first of all, this was not a small contract, as it was said. $200 million was put into it, and this is for AI assistant Claude for government systems, right? And so what Claude said, hey, listen, we don't, well, Anthropic, I should say, we don't mind giving you Claude for 2 reasons. And the first one is the one that kind of caught my eye a little bit more, is cannot be used for mass surveillance of American citizens. Repeat that. I'm going to say it again. Cannot be used for mass surveillance of American citizens. It doesn't say the world citizens. It says specifically American citizens. And then also says Claude cannot be used to control fully autonomous weapons. Now, if I'm an American citizen, those 2 things kind of appeal to me. I don't know about you, but I would prefer not to be surveilled, though it's already happening. I prefer that technology doesn't have to continue to do that for American citizens, as well as if it's controlling fully autonomous weapons, that means that you are taking the human out of the loop, and you're basically, or possibly, taking human out of the loop and saying, hey, Claude, you run this thing. All right. Who gets the liability at that point? Is it going to be a situation later on where he said, hey, these Anthropic people, they're behind this. We just push the buttons. right? So
Hmm.
so really trying to make sure that it's copacetic here, that you understand that, like, listen, we are providing this service to you, but this is the risk that we do not want to take. And so for them to be like, and it kind of makes sense with everything we've seen, especially right now in the news, that the response was, "Oh, if you ain't gonna do it, then we'll go someplace else because the stipulations of it would change for all lawful purposes." Now, all lawful purposes, according to sources that we were able to grab, that was in quotations. So, what is considered lawful? It's considered lawful for whatever the government says it can be, which again goes against those two stipulations. So, if I'm an American citizen, surveillance on me, I mean, we already have surveillance. Do we need an extra layer on that? Plus, having fully autonomous weapons being controlled by AI, I'm not too sure that appeals to me per se. I'm just saying. So those are the things that I'm seeing, and so for them to say, "Listen, we're gonna go to the other folks over here and say, let's go grab this," as it was said earlier, is opportunistic, and I think that you know, to be honest with you, it's I wonder how this is gonna impact business relationships with both sides. Now we saw what was said. I'm thinking the more the B2B side, because open even though ChatGPT does have its focus on the B2C market, they do have some B2B customers as well. Would it impact those contracts that they have with them as well? Would that be opportunity for Anthropic to come swoop into that businesses? Like, okay, you could if you want the government, you get 200 million. We could go for everything else now because apparently your PR situation is looking kind of stink. Uh, roses really smell like boo hoo hoo in this situation. So that's the thing I'm looking at right now, and sometimes not every opportunity is a good opportunity. You know,
That's
would
it.
it would it been a situation if, let's say, if ChatGPT came to the table and said, you know what, the Anthropic people got it right. Listen, I can't take this. Would the government have said, all right, fine, we'll accept the deal if there was more unity behind the scenes. But it really kind of shows you when everything in business is not love, it's not fair because there's a battle going on, right? Everybody's trying to take up ground with AI. In fact, this is 2026. A lot of people have already chosen or will choose their AI vendor for whatever purposes between probably this year and early 2027, and they're gonna rock with them for as long as the contract is in place, whether that's 2, 3, or 4, 5 years, until it's time to re up again or look at something else. But there is an arms race that most people probably are aware of already that is happening. So I could see why ChatGPT did this. I don't know if they were anticipating the backlash that was going to come because of it.
They did
2.5 million
not.
people, yeah, 2.5 million people canceling their subscriptions. Maybe that's like, well, we got 200 million now. Maybe it's not as big to them, but let's just do the simple math. If that was $10 per prescription, which is not, because I know it's more than that, that's let's just do $10 just to keep it around the number. That's $250 million gone in cancellations, and
Not
that's
just
not
not just that's $250 per month.
per
Just to
month. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
I mean, I just wanted to clarify. Like
Yeah, it's
we're
a
talking
lot of
about
money.
monthly subscribers. Yeah, we're talking about MRR. Okay, that's the game they're in. So, but yeah, bro. I mean, you're right. You're right. It's it's one of those things where you do have to count up the cost, even in our own lives, right? Sometimes we don't
Mm,
count up the cost before decisions are made, and then you know backlash on a smaller level happens. But
yeah.
this is a big scale business, so backlash for them is larger. Now the question is, again, like you mentioned, do they even care?
Mm,
Because I mean, that's like when you if you look at the amount of people that they have on paid subscriptions, eh, I mean, we got people with $1 million contracts, salaries, like they. So you got to really see, like, okay, do they care about that
mm-hmm,
more than they care about that government contract?
mm-hmm.
Which is, how long is the government contract? Will they be able to get, that money plus
Re up
more back
again.
over the years? Also, I think we do need to mention as well, like we do understand these news cycles are not long as well. So sometimes that upfront care that people have when they out boycotting and picket, we won't put your head on a stake, stop the madness. All like when they're doing all of that.
Yeah.
A lot of times, if I'm being honest, it don't last long.
Mm-hmm.
Like it really don't last long. Especially in the tech industry. Historically, the tech boycotts and stuff, they don't last long. People would choose convenience over outrage 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10. So I don't know if ChatGPT continues to like release new stuff and it gets more useful. User are they gonna find themselves sliding on back in them DMs. They're gonna slide on back over there and keep using it. And so I mean, that's one thing we definitely have to look at as well. Like people are so fake sometimes when it comes to that. I'm gonna be real with you. I still got both of them.
Yeah. I I
I
found out
do.
about this. I found about
I
this
still
news
got them
yesterday,
both.
but I'm still like, let me see how things work. Because you're right, it is a pendulum swing. It is a pendulum swing. You're absolutely right. Let me go to the comment section real quickly because we got Tech Coach Ralph in the building, and he agrees with what you said. So they will get a government contract, and the contracts with all of their contractors who want to use AI will go now through ChatGPT. And then Tech Coach Ralph also said, can't even remember what the controversy was last week because things change, pendulum swings. You know,
That's
um,
what I'm saying. These like our news cycles are so quick now. Yeah, I mean, here today, gone today.
yeah,
Just being real. So it's one of those things. Is it a true like, or is it true like, disdain for what happened, or is it, hey, this was easy to jump on and get a quick 100,000 subscribers by or followers by using the hashtag quit GPT.
yeah, yeah. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff for sure. Interesting stuff for sure. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much, Tech Coach Ralph, for commenting as well. And if you guys are not familiar, Tech Coach Ralph, he goes live pretty much almost every day. I can't say every day nowadays. I can say almost every day. So definitely check in with Tech Coach Ralph. Go to youtube.com/ at Tech Coach Ralph to get all the access to everything that he does. Click subscribe, ring the doorbell because you never know when he's going on. Actually, you do. But I just want to make sure you guys are locked in with him as well. He also said, Anthropic being labeled as supply chain risk limits the use of all government vendors. Companies are now saying to their customers, you can still use Anthropic if it's not for government purposes. You can still use Anthropic if it's not for government purposes.
Now that's an interesting one.
Yeah, that's an
That's
angle
an
now.
interesting one. But again, like these are the things that when companies start dying on certain topics or certain
Hills, yeah.
beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
this is where I think we talked about this weeks ago. I can't remember when, but I know we did. Like that's where people start choosing sides for real when they die on certain hills and you see the company is really for real about it, right? So now it's one of those things where, hey, our company has a lot of, or our whole company is, government contracts.
Yeah.
We got to make a business decision,
Mm-hmm.
So there's that side as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then Tech Coach Ralph added something that I thought was a good question. He said a good question I heard was, what did Anthropic expect the Pentagon to use their AI for? Maybe it's a source of knowledge base, like the kind of like how Glean is used to kind of say, okay, this is all the knowledge that we have. If you want to bring up something in your search, you can do it quickly here. Maybe that was what some things were looking to. Because if you look at the beginning, what it said was AI assistant, right? AI assistant. So assisting probably in their daily tasks, helping with paperwork, maybe. But if it is the
Yeah,
Pentagon, it's going to probably be a little bit more than just you know, uh, just helping with paperwork.
yeah. It slides over into something else.
Yeah,
Like, hey, we were
to the
using this
left.
for paperwork, but now we realize it's able to, kind of get to some final decisions a lot faster for us, and it's accurate. Let's just hit the button. But I also had that same thought, Tech Coach Ralph. I was like, yo, do they know that this is like in the pipeline? I mean, we could speculate like, oh yeah, they're, working on fully autonomous, uh, you know, robots and drones and stuff like that. And we can speculate, and then, oh, they made a little 3D render or an AI video about what it might look like and all that stuff. Or do they actually know, like, hey, we know this is what y'all are working on. We don't want our stuff inside of it. And so that's the side there.
And to go back to what Teco Drop was saying, in regards to this next point, he said, "Oh, well, if that's the case, then Anthropic is naive."
Yeah.
I mean, what do we know Claude to be known for? Like every GTP is good at something. Everybody kind of knows Claude to be good at coding, right? So if you're using it for coding, and you have software, and you're the Pentagon, place for defense and offense, then the coding is probably going to be used to develop certain weapons, and to that point, that part you can't really get too naive about. I guess the area where they were, just to be specific about, says that Claude cannot be used to control fully autonomous weapons. But if you're building the code behind it, then in a sense it is participating in that. So unless they're talking about like directly responsible in the sense of like, okay, Claude, whenever this XYZ situation happen, make sure that you send out X, Y, and Z weapons of mass destruction. I don't think that's that's if that's what they're talking about, then I don't see that being happening without a human intervention.
I mean, and then like, yeah, I think that's a part of it too. Like it could be easily like an easy workaround, bro. But
Yeah.
I mean, are they being that lazy, or are they thinking 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line? Because I mean, if they really wanted to use that, they could easily set it up where like it gives them a yes or no, and then
Mm,
they hit the button, at
yeah.
last minute, or, last second, like,
Hmm.
is this a go or not? And then it just pops up yes, and then they hit the button to finish it off. But for them to want it to be fully and just get stuck on that detail, it's like, okay, maybe they're thinking down the road when this is a thing, and we
Hmm.
don't want this to be our limitation when some other country or whatever doesn't have that limitation, and now we're behind in technology in on that side of the biz or the government business. So
Yeah. What
there's
a
that
time!
as well.
What a time to be alive. That's all I gotta say. Because it's a very interesting time. Take what Ralph said. Also, I think they started getting worried when they heard it was up to use to capture Maduro.
Yo, I didn't
Because
realize that. I
I
didn't
didn't know
realize that.
I didn't know that either. If you got more insight on that, definitely jump on and let us know if you can. You don't got to show your face, but you can just chat. Let us know more about that. And then also he says that they didn't want a cloud skill / topple foreign leader China. Um,
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
but
That'd
China
be
probably
crazy.
their own sort of surveillance ready with like those people don't have no choice.
Hey,
You're like,
no,
we got your technology and we're going to be using it for surveillance and controlling of our
man,
autonomous
them Claude skills is next level for
weapons.
sure. So yeah, it's getting crazy in them streets. And if they've experienced the Claude skills on a local computer,
Mm.
somebody's mad that they got to get off of Claude. I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah.
Somebody is hot.
Somebody said 6 months. Dang it! Trying to do all work right now.
Somebody is hot, bro.
Oh man, no, it's how to create reusable. Yeah, I know we laugh about it, but like it really does make work easy, or life easy. I would say for somebody who's in that position to have it. So now they have to resort to what, you know, doing it the old-fashioned way. I'm like, oh, not again, not again. But listen, y'all, let us know your thoughts in the comment section. We definitely want to hear from y'all about this topic. If you have if you need any thoughts about any of the other questions that we put in here as well, let us know. Like I said before, this is a call-in show, so go ahead. The links have been dropped. If you want to call in to talk about this topic specifically, let us know. You can just call in. You do not have to show your face. There's an option where you just could speak, but we'll definitely listen to what you got to say if it's in line with the conversation, because we definitely want to hear from you. And the reason why we talked about this, because not only because it's happening in the world, but it really kind of shows a couple of things. One is that the potential use for AI continues to grow. Anthropic didn't want to. I guess they didn't want a Skynet situation, but we see that area, right? And we also see that it not just impacts the world at large, but us specifically, us in our lives. They're talking about American civilians. They're talking about other things that definitely will impact us. So it's good to be abreast about this and to just have an understanding of what is going on.
Yeah.
All right.
And the other side, bro, the other side, like, hey, I mean, other side that you can look at and kind of take from, like, don't forget when you start getting into big business and, you start going up higher and higher and more visibility, now you got to make harder and harder decisions because, again, yeah, that was a $200 million contract. But think about maybe how long it was. I don't know. Was it 200 million for the next 15 years? Was it a sliding scale? Like that's guaranteed money that you could have in the account that is coming in no matter what. Maybe that's all payroll. Like your payroll is taken care of by one contract, and you can go and build this other side of the business and all that stuff. So like sometimes you have to make big decisions. Like, is this contract worth my integrity or my beliefs that I stand on? Am I gonna just take any contract in the world? Like maybe, well, we know not maybe. There are businesses, there are companies, there are people. Hey, I don't care what it is. I'm selling dope. I'll sell it to my family. I'll sell it to my mama.
Yeah.
Right? Like there are people like that. And how do they justify it? Well, I'd rather it come from me than somebody else. Like, so there are things that you can take from this story, on all sides. It's just interesting to see,
Yeah, it's very much true. It also, on Tech Coach Ralph said, in regards to this subject, why can't you use AI for surveillance if you have a warrant? How does that make it different from a wiretap or cameras and stuff?
So I'm with you, bro. I don't know. Like people act like they haven't already got. I think I've said this before, bro. They got your fingerprint and your footprint as soon as you came out the womb. Like if you think you're off the grid, you're probably not, for real. Like there's probably only a few people off the grid, and if you're not, Snowden, you're probably not off the grid. There's very few Snowdens in the world, bro. So I don't know. Personally, I ain't doing nothing. Like I don't get scared when the police are behind me and I'm in my car. I don't care. You're gonna pull it up. It's a blank slate. I haven't had nothing in my like ever. Like keep on riding. You stay behind me however long you want. You're not gonna find it. Plus, like you mentioned, I'm sure they have something in the system already for warrants, right? They get behind you. How do they know you got a warrant? They type some numbers in, and then boom, you got a warrant. Now it might, they start using AI. Maybe, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out, how do they know you don't got your seatbelt on? I don't understand that. I haven't understood that for years.
It's like,
how do you know I don't have my seatbelt on?
And they pull up and you're like, you just put it on. Like, how do you know I just put it on?
That's what I'm saying. So like at the end of the day, there's probably already some stuff going on. There are TV shows that I watch that I think they may be based in like the UK or something. What is this CCTV? What is this?
Yeah, CCTV. Yeah, everything's CCTV.
Like they watching them from street to street. I'm like, dang. got
Yeah.
the little square on them, like it's on the camera. Like, so if either this stuff is already either it's already out
Millionaire.
there and they testing it, or or it's on the way. But at the end of the day, all I'm saying is, like, if you're not doing anything wrong, you more than likely you're good. Is there some times where things happen? Yeah, but you better start working on de-escalation tactics,
Yeah.
tact.
Yeah, we absolutely definitely like take Coach Ralph said here that he put on that Chamillionaire, you see me rolling.
That's funny. I mean, there have been times,
trying to catch me riding dirty.
there's been times where I maybe thought that, but in my mind, I'm like, hey, type it in if you want. And then sure enough, they get out from behind me and they zoom on by. Like, well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Now, if I was riding dirty, then yeah, maybe I would be like, man, why they behind me so long? Let me pull off in this. I'm sweating. Let me, like, I don't care if they get behind. I don't care if I see one.
Yeah.
My heart doesn't start racing like it used to when I was 18. I'm like, oh snap, why are they behind me? This is crazy. Like, and then as you get older, you realize, man, I don't have a ticket. I don't have a warrant, or I'm not on the run from the government. I'm not a drug trafficker trafficking across state lines. Like, they're gonna get behind you. They're gonna type in some numbers. They're not gonna see nothing, and then they're gonna go get behind the other person and do the same thing because they're doing their job. I'm gonna do mine. I'm gonna just drive. By the way, I mean, it is one of those things, but I don't know. It's just stuff you got to deal with sometimes.
Listen, I don't know if we're taking the show this direction, but I might as well, since we're on the topic. I also think it's about where you are. There's a place nearby me that said, if you're dark, don't go there after dark. Don't if you're dark, don't be there after dark. And this is not in as people would say in the South or anything like that. This is right here in the Northeast.
Yeah.
And so because you will be targeted for no reason. So, or targeted and they'll make a reason. So I actually had that happen to me because I was visiting a friend there. I had to pick up something, and yeah, let's just say that I was like, okay. I mean, it worked out. Like, again, I was, like you said, clean. Nothing, whatever little situation happened, it is what it is. It was a quote unquote warning. But they were looking for something. It wasn't like I had anything that would say anything wrong. I drive a minivan, but I happen to be dark in a certain area. In other places, I don't got no problems. And so there's also understanding of your surroundings and understanding of what is going on and just being aware of it. Like it is what it is in some certain situations and cases, but really kind of not putting yourself in that situation is important. We got NC Worker in the building, by the way. Good morning.
Good morning, man. What's up, NC Worker? What's up?
Been a minute. It's been a minute. Glad to see you. Glad to see you back on here.
No, you're right though, bro. I mean, yeah, there are places that you probably shouldn't be at in certain times. And so, I mean, here there are places that if people your same color, if you're not normally in that area, they're about to come see what's going on.
Yeah,
I remember that at this time I had I was in a certain area. I was trying to leave my aunt's. I had too much of a good time at one of my aunt's house, bro. And at this time I had a Mercedes Benz, and bro, I needed gas. I stopped at the gas station down the street from her house, and I got out, and I immediately had a bad feeling. It was nighttime already, and I'm pumping. Next thing I know, two guys. You know how people stand outside the corner store, right?
Yeah.
That's that's one of those things. I don't normally have that. So again, I'm on alert. I'm looking. I always have my head on the swivel. I'm not I look like a walking lick, but I am not a walking lick. I promise you. So I see two guys there. Next thing you know, There's 4 guys outside of the coin store. Now this is all happening really quick. I put $10 in, I'm getting out because now there's movement. And I'm like, all right, I'm about to go.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. I don't know if they were coming over or not. I'm not trying to find out. I know the area that I'm at. I know what happens. So anyway, like, you know, that situational awareness as well, you got to have it. But, you know, it sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, for sure.
Yeah. And Coach Ralph is getting us back on topic. He said Palantir used Anthropic to process a lot of data in a short amount of time for Maduro raid, and I believe for simulating different strategies and outcome for a successful operation. That is another thing we talked about last week about simulations, man. That is a huge
with Samsung
business in itself. Yeah, with Samsung. And so this is an example of how simulations will move in the future. We see it in movies all the time. Like, give me the or even, like I mentioned in Marvel, like he's like, I see Doctor Strange, like I've seen all the possible ways.
Right.
We lose only one way. At first, like, no, there's no way for us to win. Right. So that's another thing that we're seeing coming to life where AI is coming to play, doing simulations for, in this case, government operations, but even for businesses to say, okay, you can even simulate customer experience. You can simulate how they're going to react to this and all the different stuff. Like, this is a very powerful thing that we're seeing. And I'm highlighting this because, again, for us, we start thinking about, okay, AI is not just, you know, help me to write this poem to my girl on Valentine's Day. It's used for real things. So yeah, no, that's a good point.
Yo, that's hilarious. But bro, I mean, even myself, I find and I'm probably using it on a neophyte level, like real young level. But I found myself in some of the things that I'm doing, I'll put it in there. Like, yo, go ahead and instead of asking me the questions, I'll say, go ahead and finish it out with the best answer statistically. Right? Like, so it'll go and search the internet or all these places and then just put it in place of everything that's the best possible thing statistically. But again, I'm probably not even doing that right. But I'm saying, just imagine the level that they're able to do it at with all the information that they have. Like, bro, they can know that you, he normally turned left. Yep. Yeah, he put his left leg in his pants first and then the right.
Yeah, all the mannerisms.
Yeah,
CCTV,
bro,
like you said,
it can get ugly for sure. I didn't know they were already doing that for them. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Just imagine if you can set it up to where you always pick the best possible answer. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, they could decide, like, we got to go into war with X, Y, and Z people because we already run the simulations. That's
crazy.
We could like do certain things that may not be in agreement or in any treaty because we ran the simulation. Like, that's a dangerous world to live in, because now you're like, I'm God. I figured everything out. At least that's what you think. And then you find out otherwise.
It backfires.
It backfires big time. So yeah, no, that's very interesting for sure. But listen, y'all, we definitely appreciate you guys rocking with us. Looking at the time, y'all, go ahead and put your comments in if you have any more comments about this. But looking at the time, I want to save the Oracle conversation. I know I mentioned it earlier, so I don't want you to think that we're not going to do it. But I want to save that for next week because it's a pretty big topic, and we'll definitely cut into it. I just don't want to rush it, but maybe we can do it. Let's see.
Probably should.
Yeah.
Next week it'll be something else.
Like that good route. Like says, I don't even know the controversy from last week. All right, so let me hit let's hit the Tech Wire real quickly, and then we're gonna jump into that story. Tech Wire, as you know, is brought to you by Secure the Badge. So Secure the Badge is an opportunity for you to go ahead and just go to the website. I'm not going to show it today, but check out the website for yourself for any upcoming tech events in your neighborhood. There's tons of events in March. April even has more events because people are outside in the springtime. May has a few, June has a few, but go ahead and check it out for yourself. Bookmark and work on some stuff. And if you can, join the community as well. it really pays for itself. So join the community, get opportunities to get free tickets to particular events. If you are interested in events like South by Southwest and others like that, you could be able to get an opportunity to get those tickets in there, which again, like I said, it pays for itself. So go to secure the badge, again, that's securethebadge.com for more. All right. And with that, I'm going to jump right into the topic and we'll see how much we could grab a hold of it right now. But basically, Oracle's AI spending has been causing some issues in regards to its employee count. And I'm going to get right into it. Oracle is reportedly planning to cut thousands of jobs and possibly many more as it pours in huge amounts, a lot of amounts of money into building infrastructure for artificial intelligence. Huge. Sorry, that's what came to my head when I said huge. Huge amounts. The layoffs highlight its growing reality in the tech industry, and companies are spending massive sums like themselves to, like Oracle, to build AI systems, and sometimes cutting workers to afford it. Ooh. So the amount that we're looking at right now is 162,000 employees worldwide. Reports say the company is preparing to cut those across several different departments. So some estimate that the layoffs could reach 20 to 30,000 workers, though the original report only confirmed thousands, right? The original report. So the main reason is the company's aggressive push to build AI data centers for major clients like OpenAI, Meta, and Grok or XAI, right? So the cost of building these infrastructures is originally planned to be about $35 billion on infrastructure in this fiscal year alone. Say it again, 35 billion this year alone. But by late 2025, the company revealed that spending could reach 50 billion. But it's expected to be around 15 50 billion, which is 15 billion more than what they planned. So they're like, oh man, it's going to cost a little bit more money than we thought. So to cover the gap, there are basically plans to raise the money, 45 to 50 billion in new funding. But at the same time, the company already burned through 10 billion in cash reserves. So some of the U.S. banks have been reluctant to finance the projects as well. Yeesh. And borrowing costs for Oracle have reportedly doubled. So because of these pressures, analysts expect Oracle's cash flow to remain negative until around 2030. And with the AI infrastructure might finally start generating major profits, hopefully by that time. So investors are already reacting to this news. Oracle stock has taken a hit because of it. Remember, we talked about that huge stock rise with the announcement of that deal that they made. Shares have dropped about 54% since September of last year. And then also, the company is upcoming earnings report is on March 10th, which is tomorrow. So expect to reveal more details about the layoffs and the financial situation. Tech layoffs have been common in most years, as we know. We probably experienced it ourselves, like with Microsoft, Google, things that we have already talked about. But the reason why, but Oracle's situation is a little bit different because the company isn't primarily cutting jobs because AI is replacing the workers. Instead, it's cutting jobs to free up money to build massive infrastructures that AI requires. So, in other words, employees are being cut so the company can afford the machines that power AI. Some of the layoffs will also target roles that Oracle believes AI tools may partially replace in the future. So, if you know somebody at Oracle, be like, "Hey, brother, let's start talking. Let's start talking now." So, Oracle's cuts are happening during a turbulent time for tech employment in general. We've seen it with Block, 40,000 employees there, and then also with Microsoft, 15,000 workers there as well. So there's definitely been some changes overall. So I wanted just to get your thoughts on this really quickly, get your thoughts in general about the situation at hand. What are your thoughts about this? Again, the earnings report is coming out tomorrow at around 10. Do you think this plan will backfire? I mean, at this point, they got to go bite the bullet because they said they're going to deliver on this. And so they got to deliver. So what are your thoughts, y'all?
Yeah, bro. I mean, listen, man, it sounds terrible, but it also could be, it sounds terrible on two sides because you see these companies, they're spending crazy money on this piece, which it shows like, yo, they're looking to invest in AI big time. because who spends, $35 billion on something that you don't think is going to be relevant? But also, some of the banks pulling back, that also, kind of signals some stuff as well. Why do they not want to fund it? Is it because it's just they know like, oh, we're going to be throwing money into this for a while before we get a return, or do they not believe in it? I think it could. I don't know, obviously, but we have seen before in the past where they've done this kind of stuff and it's turned into like, some kind of bubble. And we heard them talking about it. And the more you look into it, you realize like, okay, they're not just talking about a bubble. Like this has happened in the past. You have telecom. They had telecom fiber bubble in the early 2000s. Like where data centers overbuilt cycles. So like they overbuild the cycles, and then even the crypto mining as well. So that crash, the infrastructure on that piece. So they've seen this stuff before, and so that's one piece. But I don't know. It sucks when you start hearing it because that's a lot of people. Like I can't remember, bro. Is the 163,000? Is that the total amount of people that they're looking to lay off, or is that how many people they have in the company?
No, that's let me see if I pull it up here. Let me see. I kind of lost it. Let me see if I find the number. I just want to make sure the number is accurate. It probably is just going to be. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me pull it up here. Yeah, but I think there's a lot of number that I talked about there.
The 20 to 30,000.
Yeah, that might be the initial. I mean, that's still a lot. But Oracle has about 162 employees worldwide, right?
Okay,
That's the amount of
I
employees
see.
they have. About 20 to 30%, about 20 to 30,000. Those are the workers that possibly could be laid off, but they only said thousands in the report.
Okay.
But we're gonna find out if you are locked in with Oracle, if you have stock there, you're gonna get a copy of that earnings report tomorrow, and then it'll be released to the world at that point. Again,
Yeah.
March 10th. That's when they said they're gonna have the earnings call. So definitely something to look into. Tech Coach Ralph says, when I hear a company lays people off due to AI, also look to see if and who they are hiring. That's true.
That's
like
smart
the same.
thinking.
That's what happened in Salesforce. Remember, they laid off a bunch of people. Then all of a sudden, they hired a bunch of salespeople, well, AI agent sellers, right? Right after that. So at the same time, actually. So you're absolutely right. They probably lost money. Based off of what was said here, absolutely. I
Big
do not.
time.
Yeah. So that 50, the stock dropping. What was it? I want to make sure I'm accurate here. According to our report, the stock dropping at 54% since September of last year. Yeah, that says a lot. So yeah. So that is very true. Yeah, this is
Yeah,
very true.
I do see a trend though, bro, that like it looks like it really did used to be as far as the tech industry and what was popping.
Yeah.
Like it really did used to be about software, and now it really looks like it's the infrastructure side, bro. Like all these people are trying to get data centers and stuff like that. They're trying to dominate that piece of it, the infrastructure. And I don't know, like I think whoever has the biggest bag is gonna win, because you got to have like so many GPUs, you got to have all these data centers, you got
A lot of investment.
who can get the deals with the electricity, all of this stuff. So I'm like, whoever has the biggest bag, that capital, that they might end up winning it all, even if they don't have necessarily the best like software piece. So I don't know, but
Yeah,
you're hearing data centers a whole lot more now. So
yeah. And my question now, I mean, I know it sounds kind of like backtracking to say this, but do you think that investment like that is a gamble at this point? Because there's a lot of only because you make it's great to make the investment. We know AI is a huge component of that, but what if there's more efficient ways. They find ways to run on AI that don't need all that, because technology is moving pretty quickly. So
It
now you
probably,
spend all your money on this infrastructure, and it's like, oh, we figured it out with it. We just tweak some
but
things with
that's
these GPUs.
but that's what I'm saying, bro. That's why I said it probably comes down to who's holding the biggest bag. Like, because if you got the biggest bag, here's what you're looking at. You're like, yo, everybody else is doing this. If we don't do this, we're gonna fall out of the game. So now we gotta do it. But then if you got the biggest bag, hey, we doing it, but we still good over here, or whatever.
Mm,
So I don't know.
yeah. I don't know either y'all. Let us know in the comment section.
You say it'll
Like
bounce back like Will Smith
Tech,
freestyle.
Techo Drop said it will bounce back like Will Smith freestyle. Na 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 na. Nah, 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 nah. Well, listen, y'all. Thank you again for rocking with us on this episode of Talk That Tech. We definitely wanted to give you that information as early as possible, and we go round this thing out with a brown box special. Again, thank you guys for rocking with us, and for the brown box special. If you don't know, this is basically a time where we share a story about someone that either was fired, hired, or like we're probably going to see in a couple of months, laid off. Not to be concerned or make fun of them, just laugh at our own pain because we all experience it in one way, shape, or form. Before I do that, TechRough Rob says I think Oracle and others are always investing in a lot of R&D on how to make it energy efficient. Whoever figures it out, stocks explodes. And now we got to look at the energy side of business and sustainability. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So you got to be on all sides, or at least a few. So when one
Yeah.
side is up and the other side is down, you still getting that upside. Shout out to Uncle Warren Buffett for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So this story is a quick. I'm gonna do a quick one with this one. It's basically I said I was a welder / fabricator. I had a supervisor whose brother was the supervisor of the assembly side of the business, who took my welded parts and put them together on large trucks. By the way, the story is credit to Reddit for the story. These parts, although largely built per set of standard drawings, still had variations of dimensions depending on the make / model of the trucks that are being assembled for and will be finalized in SITU, which I forgot what that means. But the assembly advisor called me in to inform me that my parts were incorrect and did not fit the truck I had built for them. I had built them incorrectly, according to him. I'm an excellent fabricator, but everyone makes mistakes, so I did not question and fix the problem. Then it happened again and again. So I started taking video of my parts, fitting together, and moving on the assembly with matching unit numbers clearly visible. This, however, was not enough to prove it was not the problem. I realized that what was actually happening is the supervisor would take parts for a different truck, change a number, and attempt to fit them to incorrect unit, and then blame me for the incorrect fit up. Look, working behind the scenes. Look at them. I chose to let this happen one or two more times before revealing that I had etched the numbers into secret locations with abrasive tools so that I could prove once and for all that either he personally or one of his lackeys were deliberately sabotaging my work. That was absolutely cancer. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry that I left. So that's when people are being treacherous and working behind the scenes on you, and they trying to take you out.
Listen, man, sometimes it be like that for real. Sometimes people they don't like you for whatever reason, and they want to try and see you out.
Yeah.
You got to keep your head on the swivel. You got to know that, and then do your follow up on your work, so that just in case they try. No, I got copies, big buddy. I got copies of the originals.
Yeah.
And I got it notarized.
Yeah.
Look at the date on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Take a rest. I would have had it all working in Pelican Bay. You going to jail?
Yo,
they would be
trying to mess up my work, sabotage me, man.
But he was smart with that. He's like, listen, I put it someplace where you don't even know it's supposed to be. So now, boom, I got you. But I appreciate you guys for getting us today and having us holding us down. I want to go through the comment section and shout y'all out. Hebrew Elevation, thank you so much for stopping by the show. We got OTTO in the building as well. Peace and blessings, fam. He said, Thank you so much. We had Tech Coach Ralph. Thank you for always commenting and sharing. Again, go to Tech Coach Ralph, YouTube.com/Tech Coach Ralph to check out his channel and other things that he has going on there. And then NC Worker, thank you so much for rocking us. We definitely appreciate you for rocking with us on this episode of Talk That Tech, the
#1 tech morning show in the world. We'll see y'all next week, baby.
Yes, peace and elbow grease.